All right, today we are taking a massive, 1,000-year journey through the history of the British monarchy. We're going to look at how its power was first forged, in the heat of battle, then how it was challenged by its own people, and ultimately how it was transformed into the institution that we recognize today.
And really, this all boils down to one fundamental question. How does a monarch go from being an absolute ruler, a king who takes power by conquest, to a sovereign who only rules by permission? With the consent of the law and the people. That's the story we're unpacking right now. So here's our game plan for this journey. We're going to start with how a single kingdom was even forged from all these warring lands. Then we'll see how conquest really cemented that power. After that, we'll look at the moment power was put under the rule of law, explore that epic clash between the crown and the church, and finally, we'll see how two kingdoms became one under a single monarch.
Okay, so our story begins in a time when the word England, well, it was just an idea, not a reality. The British Isles were this chaotic patchwork of rival kingdoms constantly at war with each other. You had the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes. The very idea of a single ruler for all of them was pretty much unimaginable.
This brings us to a really important term from that time, Bretwalda. It basically means wide ruler of Britain. The first guy to really earn it was Egbert of Wessex, way back in the early 800s. And with him, the long and very bloody process of pulling all these Anglo-Saxon kingdoms under one banner begins. Now, he wasn't the King of England yet, not by a long shot, but he was definitely laying the foundation.
And you can really see the chaos of these early centuries right here. The House of Wessex fights for 200 years to unify the land, only to lose it all to the Danish King Canute. Then, just as Anglo-Saxon rule gets back on its feet, boom! The Norman Conquest hits in 1066, and it just changes everything forever. Power was constantly shifting.
But the key figure in all this, the guy who really gets it done, is Athelstan. He's the grandson of Alfred the Great. In 927, he conquers the very last Viking stronghold in Northumbria, and with that, he unites all the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. He is the first person who could truly be called the King of England. A single kingdom had finally been forged.
But, forging a kingdom is one thing. Holding on to it, that's a whole different ballgame. How do you consolidate power, especially when you've just taken it by force? Well, that very question brings us straight to the Norman Conquest, which introduces a brand new and much more absolute form of monarchy to the island. 1066. Yeah, that's a date that changes everything. William, the Duke of Normandy, sails across the English Channel, beats the last Anglo-Saxon king at the Battle of Hastings, and earns his new title, the Conqueror. And look, this wasn't just a change of king. This was a complete and total reset of England's entire